according to data from Ghana Statistical Services. The unemployment rate in Ghana in 2015 was about 12.07%. So looking at Ghana's working class population of 12 million, according to the Ghana Living Standard Survey report in 2014 by the Ghana Statistical Services, that means that about 1.5 million Ghanaians are jobless. Another outstanding fact. And I haven't even talked about the underemployment yet. Now in Ghana, we have over 80 tertiary institutions that churn out thousands of graduates every year who are looking for the preferred formal jobs that are just not there. Most of these graduates appear to lack the critical skills required by industry to immediately help achieve high productivity and growth at the workplace. So putting all this together, I call it crisis in the world of work. It is a crisis because employment represents fundamentally a means to earning a living, a means for survival, for basic things such as food, shelter, healthcare, and education. So how are these millions of people surviving in an era of continual economic crisis without jobs? I hope I've been able to put into proper perspective the proverbial high unemployment situation of our country, continent, and the world. It is a crisis in the world of work. And so all this begs the question, how do we solve this crisis? Or at the very least, what can we really do to bridge the skills gap between industry and academia as citizens, the government, industry, and academia? So I'll take a quick look at the recruitment review, overview of recruitment. Recruitment proves to be a complex activity all over the world, and Ghana is no different. Hiring managers continuously struggle to fill vacant positions due to skills, costs, compensation, and attitude gap with the current workforce to be. For our brothers and sisters in the diaspora coming back, this implies competing with the Ghanaian populace for the few jobs that are available. They need to be implementation ready, that's the way I call it, and to be able to stand out as the best fit for these positions. My simplest definition of quality is fitness for use. Our brothers and sisters from the diaspora need to receive the orientation that the Ghana labor market is diversified and should do their own research to be able to benchmark effectively regarding compensation packages which are industry related so they don't overprice themselves. They should also be knowledgeable about the labor laws of Ghana, the Ghanaian labor laws or regulations. For instance, rightly or wrongly, even if you are not or you were not educated in Ghana, you are still required to do your national service. How many of us know that? And how many people are prepared to do that when they come to Ghana? So we need to understand that attitude is also a major factor in recruitment, and hiring managers try to find ways of telling candidates the kind of attitude the candidates have through rigorous assessment routines. So then is it not true that there are no jobs in Ghana? There are jobs, limited though to the supply of labor. There are not as many jobs as those people who are looking for jobs. It is also true that it is quite difficult filling the few available roles owing to unavailability of best fit talent. So as we come to look for jobs in Ghana, we need to ask ourselves, are we implementation ready? Implementation ready people for the job market are people who have the right knowledge with the right behavior or attitude and the skills required not only to solve today's problems but tomorrow's as well. Such people are limited in supply. To be more specific, when employing anyone Apart from their technical knowledge, I, as a recruiter, would be eager to know if they have integrity. I'd like to know what their prowess in innovation is. I would want to look at proven leadership, talent management skills. Are they numerate? Are they analytical? How well do they communicate? And more importantly, is the person trainable or adaptable? This is because the world is constantly changing and people need to continually reinvent themselves and make themselves relevant and productive or become unemployable. We all know about the sigmoid curve and the fact that as we are getting to our peak, if we don't jump onto the next sigmoid curve, we will just decline. So what are the practical curriculum application we can learn? It is not such a bad idea. It's being practiced in Sweden, where people in industry, we call it work modeling in curriculum evolution. People in industry actually go to the classroom for a term, and they will have an integration of work-based modeling from the JSS level through the university education. And the work-based modeling is a direct attachment of work setting in schools, and then structured to have business managers spending a school term in the classroom, bringing normal-based work ethics to the classroom. And in return, students are encouraged to have business-based settings. And this will encourage them to spend time in groups and break the regimental school structures. And then we also need to understand that it is also very dependent on commitment of government, industry, as well as academia. So for our brothers and sisters coming from the diaspora, if you have the mindset that instead of having most of our work life and work study based on the promise on students to make money, mentorship will be a way out. And so in the time that you may come, for the period where you are job searching, you may get into some volunteering opportunities and mentorship opportunities which will change the status quo and help bridge the gap between academia and industry. We also understand that internships should be made more compulsory, and possibly the mentoring hours obtained during internship tested and computed as part of one's GPA, so that industry practice must also be linked with this. So that I'm talking about intentionally structuring an internship program. It is planned in such a way that the intern is constantly being developed at different levels of the program. And this may be good for us as well as for our children who are also coming into the job market. On the average, for internship programs, we've seen that there is an advantage. When students come out of school without the use of the internship program, they have an employability rate of about 30%. But after school, the figure rises to about 58% or more based on the experience received during these internships. So we do know that they go a long way to bridge the gap between academia and industry. I will also like to recommend that we are not all supposed to look for jobs. I believe there needs to be a shift in our paradigm, in our mindset, that with the crisis in the world of work, and there not being enough jobs to cater for all the people being churned out of school, including those coming from the diaspora, we need to encourage people to create jobs for others. Thank you. So the mindset of the average Ghanaian is to come out of school and find a job. Students don't take hold of the time they have in school to work on their talents, gifts, and creativity. Finding a job does not create the urgency in students to solve the problems around them. So we are recommending that the entrepreneurship drive in schools will help in not just creating jobs, but will also help solve a lot of the challenges we have in Ghana. And we have put in place LNA Foundation Entrepreneurship Club to provide a platform for students in junior high schools to learn entrepreneurship traits, values, and skills so that they can take advantage of the problems around them and create businesses that in effect create more employment for others coming out of school. And I believe this is a bandwagon that we can all jump on. There are ways in which we can improve upon the lives of people in Ghana. What does the entrepreneurship do? What does the entrepreneur do? The entrepreneur just looks at problems in society, finds solutions for them, and makes money out of it.